Hey all, welcome to my new little vlog here. Right before us, I'm making a pair of trousers for one of my suits for my fashion show next year, pure women's suit collection. So I'm trying to get 20 suits done, but let's see if I can or not. I'm slightly behind my work because I've got to do all my other work in my shop. So we'll see what happens. Right, so I'm just gonna, this little vlog's about my waistband for my trousers. You can see here, this is quite sturdy because I put, usually traditionally in bespoke tailoring we put canvas in. You can see here, but I've used, for this one I've used a linen. It's quite a stiff linen. It's not as stiff as quite a heavyweight canvas, but I wanted to put quite a lighter weight canvas in, so I've used a linen instead because this is pretty thick anyway. This is a heavyweight, pretty heavyweight tartan wool fabric we got, so I didn't want to get it too bulky. And then from this linen I've put what we call band roll on as well, but I've put the band roll all the way. Usually it's on the front up into the side seam, but I've done it all the way to the back as well to give it, it's more kind of this uniformity that you kind of have really. Usually you have it under your belly so it doesn't roll over the front, but I like, some tailors will put it just the front, sometimes we'll actually put it all the way across. There's nothing set in stone. You got to just experiment. That's what it's all about, it's experimenting things. So now I'm going to what we call, I've got this beautiful Bengal stripe lining. I'm even experimenting myself, so I'm ordering some shirting fabrics, Bengal pure cotton shirting fabrics, and I'm going to use my next lot of trousers with beautiful Bengal striped cotton. So this is the lining, so I'm going to experiment because the cotton is a little bit thicker than this, so we'll see how it pans out. Now inside this lining I'm going to put canvas to give it more body in this lining. So here's my canvas. This is like a wool canvas here, you can see here. So, and I'm going to cut this out now, so I'm just going to mark this. Now there's many ways to do trousers, well, jackets and such. You'll get 10 tailors and each tailor will show you a different method. And I've learnt from 5 different master bespoke tailors, and now I've got my own kind of method. So this method I love from a great Irish tailor, he's one of the best tailors in the world, to be quite honest. So I use a lot of these methods and he showed me this method. So I do traditionally they use like a shirt grip banding, which I don't really like, to be quite honest. So I've opted to do one of his methods, which I like. So this Bengal stripe lining, see, will actually go across there. Now sometimes you will open the seam, sometimes the tailors will leave the seam up, and then you just baste your waist banding on top, or you machine stitch or whatever, or you can open it. Now usually when you open it you'll put curtains, but I don't like putting curtains in, to be quite honest. So I've made this banding a little bit wider so it will cover it. So once it's seamed here at the top, you can see the seam there, so it covers it quite, yeah, we've got enough to cover that, and that's how it's going to be. It's going to be finished like that. Now traditionally sometimes we'll actually fold this and they'll baste this lining on at the top, just underneath the waistband. You got more control this way as well. You can sometimes may ease in a little bit, and they'll hand fell, what we call hand fell, right at the top. Sometimes I do that on some of my trousers, especially pure bespoke, but this is for my fashion show. I've got to make 20 pairs for part of 20 suits, so I'm just going to machine this one down, but some of them I probably will hand fell it the traditional bespoke way. So there we have that. So if I just set that aside there, and then I'm going to just mark 2.5 inches down, because remember we've got to clear that seam allowance. We've got to clear that and make, because I've opened the seam so it's got to be wider, and I've done that anyway, so I kind of know how much to cut this now, and this will include the seam allowances. So I'm just going to do this now, and that's 2.5 inches there, and I think that's 2.5 inches as well. So cut this in half here, I'm just giving you little glimpses into how I do bespoke stuff on my waistcoats, jackets and trousers, and later on the shirts as well, because I'm hoping I've got enough time to make the blouses and shirts for the show as well for the women. So there's our canvas, our pure wool canvas, and now this is going to go sit inside this fold of our canvas. So I'm going to base this down now. I'll go right to the fold there, and that's it. And then that will be, you've got a bit more weight, you've got a bit more body now. You can see this, and then this will be stitched in there, and that's how it's going to finish in there. So you'll have a nice body, and it's going to hide the seam under there, and that's how it's going to finish in there once it's all stitched in. You'll have a beautiful finished and lovely striking waistbanding. It can be any colour, you can put anything in, nothing's set in stone, as I say. So I'll see you on my next little vlog as I'm finishing off these trousers. Ciao.